No, I'm not being. You're being a little bitch. Listen, would you stop up to these people and go to Gary Gensler?
Current King Troll Alex Stein calls out Barstool Sports El Presidente himself, Dave Portnoy, calling him petty and a sellout. Well, Dave, your thoughts. I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this is What's Next. Hey, what's up, guys? Jazz Berganzo here. Another episode of What's Next, your daily dose weekend edition. Hope you guys are doing okay today. Dave Portnoy versus Alex Stein. Recently, Alex Stein showed up at a Vegas city council meeting, and among a number of issues that he mocked, one of them turned out to be a situation regarding gambling. Well, Barstool Sports tweeted this video out, and everybody got a kick out of it. Well, almost everybody. The part owners of Barstool Sports were like, yeah, we're not digging it. You need to pull it. And so they did. And of course, Alex Stein called out Dave Portnoy, calling him petty and calling him a fraud and calling him a sellout to boot. And of course, Portnoy answers back, fires back, shall I say. And here we are. Let's take a look. First, out of the blaze. This is Jason Whitlock, sports writer extraordinaire, host of Fearless, and also conservative Christian. Whitlock, the last true Americans see right through Dave Portnoy's phony patriotism. Narcissism, partying, insecurity, shallowness prevent Dave Portnoy from acknowledging his betrayal. As you can see there, basically calling him a fraud. He's betting on the legions of followers he's developed while building the Barstool Sports empire exists in a similar character flaw and haze and will fail to recognize their leader is Benedict Arnold. Tuesday night, in response to his tweet beef with comedian Alex Stein and my column painting him as a fraud, Portnoy cast himself as the victim of his courageous and humorous attempt to challenge the political establishment. Via Twitter, Portnoy released a sarcastic letter arguing that his rejection of the political right and political left had made him target for political extremism. Yet, does Portnoy yield? He wrote, "Ha! He stands strong against the constant unfair tax, while everyone else whines and screams. David, the last true American Portnoy, helps small businesses fight corrupt suits of Wall Street's, runs a billion-dollar company that he built brick by brick." Hats off to Portnoy for building Barstool and raising money to assist small businesses hurt by the COOF lockdown. Benedict Arnold was an American hero before joining the British. Plus, it's farcical for Portnoy to suggest the enemy of the political establishment. That he's the enemy of the political establishment. It's the equivalent of me arguing that Ronald McDonald and the Burger King hatched an assassination plot to take my life and recover my buy one, get one free coupons. Makes no sense. Portnoy surrendered to the establishment in 2020 when gambling conglomerate Penn National bought half stake in Barstool. Portnoy has never publicly acknowledged his capitulation, but smart observers see it in his actions and the tonal shift of Barstool's content. Stevie Wonder could see the submission when he heard Portnoy's Roe v. Wade emergency press conference. Stop! Don't jump to the conclusion that Portnoy's pro-choice stance pissed me off. Portnoy has never pretended to have a moral compass. I was in no way surprised that a super wealthy middle-aged frat boy with a sweet tooth for barely legal women, would be pro-choice. Portnoy's pro-choice stance makes sense. It was his pro-choice argument that stamped him as a traitor. Portnoy denigrated the Constitution. He argued for rewriting the Constitution. Quote, "At what point do you look at the Constitution and say, hey, this was written by people who had slaves?" He said, maybe not everything is exact to a T in the Constitution. Like millions of years from now, you're going to use a document written in, it's just nuts. In what world? The world evolves. People evolve. Technology evolves. You got to evolve. You can't stick with this document and look at it like it's the be-all, end-all. It's literally crazy pills. Now we go from that to this. This also comes out of the blaze. Tweeted and deleted. Is Dave Portnoy, petty? Whitlock and Stein discuss. Jason Whitlock delivered a devastating blow to Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy. Whitlock and Blaze TV contributor and professional troll, King Troll right now, Alex Stein, discussed events following a Twitter spat between Stein and Portnoy over a video, Stein trolling the Vegas City Council. Barstool tweeted and deleted the video, prompting Stein to call out Barstool's cowardice, tweeting, quote, "It's so cute that Barstool Sports is owned by Stool Presidente, who is accused of the most heinous things, but are afraid to keep my content up." Portnoy replied, "Buddy, shut the up. A gambling company owns us. We've had roughly 9,000 training sessions not to post shit like this because regulators don't like it. Go back to whatever hole you crawled out of." A Barstool employee and longtime acquaintance of Stein, Ben Mintz, contacted Stein to let him know that he and Portnoy talked trash about Stein on a podcast earlier that day. After learning that Barstool employee knows Stein, Portnoy allegedly fired Mintz. Interesting. Yeah. A little thin skin, aren't we? Stein joined Jason Whitlock to show to discuss the incident. At first, Jason considered the possibility of the whole thing a publicity stunt, but found that Portnoy is just petty. Let's watch a little.
Well, the news cycle is moving so fast, I don't even care. I looked at that sarcastic thing, that self-congratulatory post. It was, I mean, it's insane, patting himself on the back. He really should be ashamed. But I just found out. So I talked about this on your show, and they just played a clip. This is live. This just happened. They just played a clip from our show yesterday talking about how I had a friend that I've known for 15 years at Barstool, a guy named Ben Mintz. He called me yesterday to tell me that he kind of talked bad about me to, Dave on his podcast. Basically, not even being on my side, being on Dave's side. And Dave found out, they played the clip of that. Now Dave is firing the guy. Just tweeted out that he's firing this poor guy from Louisiana just for knowing me. And the guy even defended Dave. So this shows you how petty and cowardice Dave Portnoy is. And it's not over. And he has some sort of fetish for talking about genital.
This is Ben Mintz. My immediate response to the allegations. Did I call Stein? Yes, I did. But I did it to back up Portnoy against him. That was clearly a huge mistake, but I did it to back up my boss and my company. I am sick right now. This is the biggest misunderstanding. His comments.
I can really barely talk right now. I'm so upset right now with Dave Portnoy going what he's saying about me. But I'm just gonna call like I see it. Everybody that knows me, I got nothing to hide here. I'll tell you exactly what happened. I reached out to Stein, who I knew back at LSU from his LSU times 15 years ago. I hadn't seen the guy in over 10 years. I called him yesterday saying, "I've got my boss at Barstool's back against you, period." Should I have made the phone call and reached out to him? Obviously, that was a mistake. I should not have done that. However, I called him having Dave Portnoy and Barstool's back. I'm the luckiest guy ever to work here, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I freaking love Dave Portnoy, and I love Barstool Sports, and this whole thing is the biggest misunderstanding of all time. I literally made the phone call backing up my boss in Barstool, and now I'm getting fried for it. I'm just sick. I literally am sick right now. This whole thing's BS. I love Dave. I love Barstool, Viva, and I'm almost kind of about to choke up. I'm so upset about how big a misunderstanding
Wow.
this is.
In this tweet, Mintz reacted to being fired by Portnoy. "You're fat." This was his answer to Whitlock and his comment. "You're fat." My thoughts. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, but for both Jason Whitlock and Alex Stein to call out Portnoy over something as ridiculous as deleting tweets and deleting comic videos because his boss won't like it. The regulators won't like it. It's ridiculous, dude. That is ridiculousness. And Portnoy got called out on it. It is petty. And he is a sellout for it. But then he says, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to see you and raise you this." Fires a guy for many years, but knew Alex Stein for 15 years. So he reaches out to Stein and doesn't give him a heads up or anything, but basically just says, listen, we know each other. We go back to our LSU days, but I've got Dave's back on this. And I understand where you're coming from with this, but you got to see his side. That's all he did. It wasn't calling Alex Stein and says, listen, Alex, I got your back. Portnoy's a piece of shit. No. Never said anything of the sort. But yet, what does Portnoy do? Thin-skinned, pearl-clutching, panties bunching, soy drinking, little ass wipe, fires a guy who's been nothing but loyal to him because he happens to know Alex Stein. At the end, this is all, 1, it's a huge misunderstanding. 2, it's absolutely ridiculous. 3, it's petty. 4, it's nonsense. And 5, it makes you look weak. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is what's next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.